Opera vocalists are known for having some of the most amazing voices on the planet. Of course, Heather, you know that. Oh, when they have performed in venues like New York's Metropolitan Opera, Chicago, San Francisco, and even Munich, it shows what level they've achieved in their careers.
And thanks to the Desert Song Festival, these vocalists traveled to Tucson to perform with musicians right here in southern Arizona. George Hansen and Jack Forsyth are here to tell us more. Gentlemen, it's been a long time since I've seen you, but welcome to this show.
Thank you.
Very exciting. Now, George, we know and love you, of course, from the Tucson Symphony, but actually, you are stepping down from your position there. Is that right?
That's right. I just did my final concert as music director after 20 years. Wow. And it was bittersweet, I would say. It was a beautiful time working with those wonderful musicians, and we built something very special. But now I'm looking forward to working with the Tucson Desert Song Festival as the director, just kind of tying in my work as an opera conductor in Germany. That'll be the primary connection.
So when we were talking about these 20 years with the symphony, and now you're going to be taking on this new role, what an exciting adventure that you're going to be going on now. Where are we kind of going with the festival as far as incorporating both, you know, the instrumental and also the vocals all together in this festival?
Well, the purpose of the festival is bringing big name singers to Tucson and sort of matching them up with local groups. For example, we had so many wonderful singers this past year with the Tucson Symphony, where we did excerpts from Rosenkavalier, the opera, where we had a mezzo-soprano who came from the Munich Opera and sang the role just the way Richard Strauss, the composer, would have expected it, because that's where he was from. And looking ahead, for example, one of the big works this coming year, 2016, in January, Mahler's Song of the Earth, Sasha Cook will be joining the symphony on stage, and a few weeks later she will sing it in Carnegie Hall with Michael Tilson Thomas.
Wow.
So that is what the festival does, brings big, major world stars to the stages and working with our musicians here.
Wow. Well, that's did you hear me gasp audibly? Because I actually sang with Sasha in New York, and she is one of the best mezzos I've ever heard. Now, George, I'm curious because, you know, we know you as working mostly with instrumentalists. Where do you get your knowledge of vocal performance? I think you touched on it a little bit quickly, but, and why are you so interested in this?
Well, I was trained in the world of opera. In Europe, generally, there's no distinction between instrumental, symphony, and opera. And for 7 years, I was the general music director of a pretty big German opera house, where I conducted concerts and operas pretty much interchangeably. That's just the way it is over there. It's a little different here, two separate worlds. But ultimately, it really is about bringing the original musical instrument, which is the human voice, in contact with our wonderful instrumental musicians here in Tucson.
This is such an amazing opportunity for people maybe they cannot make it to New York or go to Munich, or, you know, you're kind of bridging that gap and still letting us be able to enjoy those wonderful singers and performances we otherwise wouldn't have. So now that we have some big shoes to fill with the symphony, where do we go, Jack, from here?
Well, we've had a 5-year plan when we first started this, and our goal at the end of the 5 years was to be having people come here. So you were talking about, this is great, people don't have to go to New York, and that was one of the target audiences we had, the people at the foothills who would go to the direct movie broadcast, but they weren't coming to the program because they didn't know what really good organizations we had here. That we've done very well on that. We've surpassed our goals. So at this point, we're about 2 years ahead of ourselves artistically. And now we really have to go on to getting people to look at us like Santa Fe. The whole idea is we want to be the wintertime Santa Fe. We want to be the cultural magnet. What do we have to do that? Well, we have to really get into the New York Times. We have to get in the Wall Street Journal. We have to continue to build up on people like Sasha Cook. By the way, we've got some other great people coming. One thing hasn't even been announced yet, but we're going to have a recital with Daniela Mack, who sang Carmen at Santa Fe. She's singing Barbara Seville. I'll be seeing her soon in next season in San Francisco. She's singing with the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. Her husband, equally well-known up in with the Metropolitan Opera, that we've got them both for a joint recital that we're going to do that hasn't been announced yet. And this is all through the new part of our organization. This is the second year now that this will be our second season with the opera. being a participant. And Ryan Taylor and the opera have been great additions. They work very well with George. And this is the kind of thing that is unique to Tucson. We've got organizations working well together. Eric Holton, George, Ryan Taylor. It's not done too many, I don't think it's done anywhere else in America.
Yeah, no, this is, I'm I'm just vibrating with excitement. And of course, we're going to find out more singers as kind of the year progresses, and we can check your website for any announcements before January. Excellent. Well, I am super excited, and I want to say thank you so much for coming here today.
And congratulations, George.
Thank you very much.
The Tucson Desert Song Festival will take place January 21st to February 7th, 2016. For more information, you can call 546-3305 or log on to TucsonDesertSongFestival.org.